Alright, that should be working. Hello, hello, welcome to my stream. Sorry, I'm a little bit disorganized this morning. I'm trying to fix an issue with... I deleted all my resources in the forest, so before I do any of that, I need to switch my playlist on Spotify, because I don't really want to listen to the house all the time. Alrighty, so welcome, and hopefully... Oh, don't need that. And hopefully you stick around. I just realized I'm using the desk mic. So I'm just going to do a quick test to make sure that you guys can hear. Yep, that looks good. So let's get stuck into it. Alrighty, so if we go back to Twitch, I'm just trying to get the mod tools up. And then what we're going to do is we're then going to provision a storage account for this function app because I deleted it. So yeah, so let's go ahead and go and find it. And channel, no, not channel, video producer. No, I'm trying to find the mod tools. This is always something that just don't know where it is. Video producer, stream manager. And so that's the stream manager. Where's the mod tools? I feel like there should be a certification or something. Moderation. No, that's sites, community, video producer. I have no idea. All right, let's just go to stream manager, and I'll just manage everyone through there. It'll work. Cool. Make sure I've still got voice. Yep. Cool. Cool. All right. That's cool. All right. I'm just gonna. I need to open up Restream chat to basically merge chats between Twitch and YouTube. All right. Okay, that's online and that's working. Perfect. All right. Let's see who's in chat today. Hello, Cor. Hello, Corey. How you going? And we've got some other people. Tech Lee, hello, and I think that's really it. So welcome. Hope you guys stick around. Hope you're doing well, Corey. Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to carry on and try and create my function app. Resource manager, and I'll just keep going. I feel like it's broken because the field can only contain, because it's lowercase number too. I'm just gonna do that. All right, next part, protection advanced. Yeah, matter. Tags, review and create. Go ahead and create me that. So for those who are not actually familiar with Durable Function app, you need to actually use a storage account, and the storage account is used to maintain state. So the big thing about Durable Functions is basically a Durable Functions is an orchestration as a means of orchestration as code. So essentially, to maintain the state of where that function is at or what step it's at, it uses this. So you can use it to basically raise events and call activities. So an activity would be like a little snippet of code. So if we excuse me, so if we go, for example, we've got get sentiment here. So that's a URL endpoint. You can see here essentially the username doesn't exist, and then we're basically starting our orchestration, which is Durable Start Sentiment Orchestrator. So if we open that up, this is essentially the orchestration. So you can see in here what we're doing is we're basically invoking activity functions, and activity functions is where it actually will capture that state. So if something breaks, it'll pick up. The problem with that, though, is that you kind of do need to go through and clean it out. So especially with debugging, because if you're creating a new instance every time, what's going to happen is it actually will pick up the old instances and it's going to try and process them, and then things can go really south really quickly. So it's best to kind of just keep it clean as possible. So that's pretty much that. Yeah, don't do that. Make sure. So that's really it. I'm just still waiting for my function app to appear. So ultimately what we're at is debugging. So I want to have a look inside a context. I don't think I can look inside a context. That was the issue, because ultimately I need to extract the input content, and then from that we can actually work out what's going on. So that's where I think we left it. Honestly, it's been so long since I've looked at this, at least a month. We'll see where we're at. Wait for this to complete, because then once we've completed that, I can then stick it back in my I can chuck in my configuration again for the storage account, and then we should be back up and running. So we're obviously having issues with trying to find that specific endpoint. So I'm just trying. How does it take to get my storage account to start working? Apparently it's quite slow this one. But anyway, we can have a bit of a peek through this and go through it. So we've got our orchestrator that we're starting. So essentially we're going to fetch our user data. So we're going to invoke the activity function, activity get user. So if we go to here, get user, you can see here, starting activity, get user, initialization, test that the path exists. We're going to load our .NET assembly. We're then going to build parameters. I'm going to build the parameters out. Once we've done that, then basically start looking at all this. I'm like, man, it's been so long since I've looked at this. And then essentially we're going to invoke our request. We're then basically essentially going to create ourselves an object. Enumerate more pages, and then go and fetch the user history. Once we've done that, then it's pretty much, we've got all our data, it's all scraped in, it's all good. This process is going to be quite extensive. Get user history, get web user history. So that's just basically calling a function. It's not really, it's still within this activity itself. And once it's done that, we'll come back to our orchestration. And then once we've done that, we can basically go ahead and respond to it. And when we respond to it, so if we go to new orchestration, check status response. Oh, actually, no, yeah, we're just waiting on, yeah, that instance. Oh, hang on, I'm looking at the wrong one. Sorry. That's the actual, it's waiting for the status response and then it'll send it back. And what we're actually supposed to be looking at is here. So once it's done that, we'll then go through all the HTTP part tasks, and then we'll go and invoke the activity function. And then it will, this is where it will actually start up a whole bunch of activities to scrape the response. And what we're doing here is we're creating a method, a variable, which is going to essentially contain all the activity, all the tasks that we're going to wait for. So here, basically, we're going to wait for all those tasks to complete before we actually carry on. So essentially, this would be start job, and then in here would be wait job. That's probably the easier way to say it. So once we've done that, I'm just going to wait for this to kind of refresh. Come on. Sentiment. Oh, this storage account's taking ages to provision this one. And then once it's completed with that, then we basically go and add all the results to the collection. So this is basically where it, this is where it will go then and send it all off to sentiment analysis. That's pretty much it. Like, it's really, really straightforward. So obviously we're working on a super preview version of Durable Function app, so it's going to be quite limited in what we can actually do. But come on, this is taking ages to provision, so I might just go and provision another one. And just, if this is a version 2, we don't need a version 2. Create a storage account v1 if we need to. Streaming, I'm just going to call it Durable Function. Asia Pacific. Straight east. Give me a general purpose v1. Yep, give that. Dark detection. Next. Next. Create me one. Go. Where is it creating? The resource strip screaming. And then yes. So it's validated. Come on, go ahead and create it, please. There is a wow. Okay, there is something going on here. Your deployment is underway. Are you going to finish for me this morning? I could tack it onto another storage account. I think I've got one lying around, but I don't particularly. It could. That could be bad news. So why is this not provisioning? Man, it's really slow this morning. Oh, my deployment's complete. Alright, we're there. Okay, let's go ahead and just grab that. There's access keys. Let's just copy that. Okay, so settings. Paste that in. Let's see how this goes. Let's just do a function at start, make sure everything's all good. Should be able to, yep, there we go. Good to go, look at that. And we've got a whole bunch of errors. Worker failed, functions work time, not time version, environmental variable 7. This is not supported in Azure version. There was another setting that we had to change. Inbound about a PowerShell version. So which we go and Google it quickly. I know there's a setting, I just forgot where it was. I think change that. Well, I don't think that fixed it. I don't think that fixed it at all. I think I'm just gonna. Oh. Post error code. Cannot access disposed object. Okay, so it needs version 2. I wonder if it will still keep working. I know this was a thing I had to fix the other day, so it could just be the fact that I need to update my function. The PowerShell function. I was going to figure out to find this. What we do is PowerShell function. See if there's a new release out there. I might just need to update it. Yep. This is just a function support. Yep. It's already in there. Actually, I'm going to see if I can just use development storage. Get rid of that for the time being. No, that's right. It's a problem. Once we've done that, make sure you start the storage emulator, which I already got. That's good. Let's definitely start. See if that works. Missing value. This is required for all triggers other than HP trigger. You can run. Specify the connection string in local settings. Web job storage. So it actually does want that web job storage. So we can just get rid of this then. Yeah, still. Is it actually? It is technically running. Worker failed to function ID. Invalid PowerShell version specified in the PowerShell. This is versions not supported on functions runtime v2. Okay. And I think the reason why is because that there is due to the release, but that's fine. So let's just make sure that we have the latest release. When was the latest change? Let's go to GitHub issues and have a quick look. Oh, we got to sign in. That's a pain. I actually wanted to have a look at the code. It's going to rerun these packages. Install our packages. While we do that, make sure web so valid the storage accounts. Yep, when you create a new function, normally points to yep. If you intend to run the app. Linking. Oh, okay. Okay. So it's already restored those projects anyway. So I'm just making sure that we make sure that everything's good, and then we just. That wasn't there previously, so that's the reason why I'm a little concerned. Worker failed to function ID. Could be the storage account's not up to, it's not what is incorrect. Let me just have a quick look at what the storage account is. Virtual function, does it have tables? It has tables. PowerShell sample history. Some queues in there. We've got some blobs. Alright, let's just trigger it, see what happens. So first things first, let's go ahead and trigger it. So so we're just going to trigger that. Response doesn't indicate a success. We got a 500. Why did it give me a 500? Host error, no startup operation. It's having issues with the host. Oh, hang on, let me just. Oh, maybe because of no. I'll just restart that. And let's actually rerun this like this. I don't know if this is going to work. It is technically running. Oh, there we go. The term debug run space is not recognized as name. Oh my gosh. This is not my morning. This is not my morning. Cannot be enabled. Command that. What's it? Application is shutting down. Invalid PowerShell version. So it is whinging about this. Something has changed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and grab the original project again. I think I've got it around here somewhere. What was it called? This one here. Just press start. Expecting to find one host, local settings in the case on the project group. Where is it all? I think we are 1 folder 2. That's the folder we need. Let's try that. Nope. Okay, let's go into that one. See if that works. No, why is it? It's like because there's a double directory. Fan out, fan in. Okay, let's just go to fan in. Okay. Yep. Just change that. Just gonna go to grab that key, that connection string. Done that. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is okay. Something's changed to function app. New release has come out and that's basically broken it again. That's what's happened. All right, so that means that hopefully they've come up with a new release, because if they haven't, then it's kind of a bit broken. So what we can do here is let's go ahead and re-download those changes. When was the last change? It's March 27th. Oh, okay. That's a significant change. There's only a master branch. Interesting. All right, let's go ahead and download this. Do is just paste it in there. Let's go get code. It literally looks exactly the same. Like the file sizes, everything, like everything is exactly the same. So I have a sneaking suspicion that because I've replaced updated PowerShell, something under the hood there is not particularly working as what it was working previously. So I've just replaced that. So everything, this should have fixed. I'll say fixed, but it should have changed. So if we go back to local settings, you can see that's gone back to that. So just go ahead and recopy that connection string. Could be the storage account, to be honest. Like, you just don't know. Okay, worker failed. I'm just gonna invalid PowerShell version, specified in functions version, environmental variable 7. This version is not supported on PowerShell functions runtime v2. Okay, I need to do a bit of research to find out, have they actually updated? I might need to update function app. Let me see what's, because I know that v3 is out and it's running. Oh no, it's still running PowerShell Core 6. That's kind of annoying, to say the least. And you can't just literally, like, I literally can't really lift and shift it. I'm just going to quickly have a squeeze at Docker. I want to reopen this in a Docker container. Oh, no, that's not going to work because it doesn't have the correct bits and pieces installed. We do have a Docker file. So just quickly go into the workspace. So doing, yes, I was actually reopening in the workspace, so we're just going to reopen the container. We've got the Docker there, so we've got the Docker, so you can see it's here, it's running 6.2. I need to rerun that container. I think what I need to do is reopen container. I don't think it ran the Docker file. Alright, we'll just see what happens. I honestly don't think this is going to work, so we might as well install Docker, that's fine. So let's reload it. Hopefully it can detect that there's a Docker file. We need to install it. All right, so okay, cool. All right, let's see if this works. If it works in the Docker file, great. Oh, shut down. Why did it shut down? Why did it shut down? Oh, here we go. It's not possible to find the compatible framework version. Specified framework .NET Core was not found.